Um, at this point, I feel like I can no longer be on board with calling what I see in the women's division on Raw and SmackDown specifically, women's wrestling. I think Raw and SmackDown have pretty much made it apparent that we're returning to the Divas era. Okay. In terms of what these ladies are given as material, how the time that they're being given in spurts, and just the overall booking. I'm not going to include NXT because NXT actually has women's wrestling. Since the dawn of the whole women's revolution, and Stephanie McMahon came out and said, they are no longer gonna be divas, they are women's wrestlers. It's just been an ebb and flow. Ronda Rousey showed up and they kind of like put all their eggs in a basket and had her walking around with it. We got the women's evolution. There was never a commitment to the women's division, to the women's revolution. It's in a de-evolution right now. Now, the way the ladies are looking, they look like wrestlers. They all kind of look like mini versions of Jazz or China. Jazz was a way ahead of her time. Okay. Um, but the stuff that they're doing is extremely diva-esque. And it's not even concerning no more. That's just what's going to happen because you got Paul Levesque, who is a child of that time where you can knock a bitch out, put her between the ring steps and the ring itself, and go in the audience and have a whole open pull her titties out and everything's cool. He don't know how to book these women if they're not doing something salacious, nasty, and funky, and it's just what it is. The good thing about women's wrestling today is these are athletes. These are a superior crop of women of talent that can go in the ring, wrestle, are able to do stuff with their bodies that the ladies of yesteryear could not and just would not do. And if they did it, it was just like real clunky and, they was kind of like, I don't really want to, or whatever the case may be. The emphasis on wrestling is where the main crux of the women's evolution was. We now see women doing 10, 15-minute matches. NXT does a way better job with it, but we're talking about the main roster. So you're getting 10, 15 minutes, but they're in spurts. The storylines are never cohesive, even though you're getting longer matches, which defeats the whole fucking purpose because you can't get invested in what the women's are trying to do. Okay, there's no useless women walking around being a part of male storylines for just like promoting their pussy. We don't have to see that no more. And the overall presentation just looks better, and it feels more important for the young girls growing up for have somebody to look at. You got, although um Tiffany Stratton wears entirely too much makeup and her titties are gonna pop out eventually. She is somebody that you can look up to. Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, Nia Jax is out there, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Bayley. These aren't women that would thrive in a Divas era. Okay? That's why it was called the Divas era. But I see that they're trying to soften these women up to the point where they are becoming very diva-esque to me. And if that is the way we're going to go, then let that be the way they're going to go. And excuse me if I'm saying women's. I don't really know why I'm saying that. The downside is it's not big. It's just like the sex appeal is what a lot of the male and maybe some females are missing. The Playboy covers, the coming out with your titties out, mud matches, just, the men are fighting over the women are fighting over the men don't get what they want, they pile drive the woman into oblivion or kicking her ass in the middle of the match, and sometimes you want the woman to get kicked in her ass, but that sends a terrible message to the kids. Okay, gender equality Incels hate the term diversity, equity, inclusion, gender equality, equal pay. They hate these words because incels don't get pussy. And I have to talk about this because incels run a lot of the businesses. There's a lot of incels in our government now. These men want women on their backs, their legs open, and the babies popping out and their dicks going in. They don't want to see women doing quote unquote what men do. As if women are just here to become dumpsters. And it's really, really sad. I've heard women want to be like the men. No, they don't. Women want good storylines and they want to go out there and tell their story in the ring. That is it. No one said they want to be like men. We like a muscle mommy, okay? That is why you all love Rhea Ripley. Bianca shows her muscles. Yes, it's sexy. She is a very pretty woman. Jade Cargill is other fucking worldly. That woman comes in, you will never see no one built like that. That is genetics, guys. Jade Cargill, African, Jamaican descent. That's genetics. Everybody can't look like Jade. China was the ninth one in the world because bitches wasn't looking like China. Even Jazz was built like the ladies that's built today. Jazz was way ahead of her time. I'm going to continue to say that. Jazz, if she was reincarnated and came out this time, she would be dominating the hoes in the WWE right now. Jazz needs to also go into the Wrestling Hall of Fame, so I don't know what the fuck they waiting on. Men complain. They feel like they're being pushed aside. No one's doing that. You're hindering the women. This is why the women are having difficulty now getting stuff that they continuously have to fight for. We should not have to keep having these conversations. What I saw on, what was that, SmackDown was egregious. And I keep seeing it. The and the old and talking like that. Like, listen. Lita was fucking everybody down to the WWE. They turned that into a storyline. That is real life. Okay? Trish Stratus, you thought she was fucking everybody. Storyline. You understand? You had a storyline under Vince where Zelina Vega had poisoned Bianca Belair's husband, Montez Ford. Why not run that back so we can see what the fuck happened? That is a storyline. Because, bitch, why you all over here? Okay? Nia Jax could be in a storyline. She disgruntled. She ain't get no dick. She mad. She about to take it out on the hoes. Like, you could come up with all kinds of ways for us to invest in these women, and y'all refuse to do it. What I saw on SmackDown was the reason why I want to have this conversation and why I'm about to end it right here. Ask you all, are you getting diva-esque behavior from the ladies, or is it just women's wrestling? If we going back to the divas, it's fine. I don't mind the divas. I love Total Divas. I binge watch Total Divas just fucking because. I would love to rewatch Bianca and Montez, but I don't know where the fucking thing went. Somebody find it for me. I don't know why it's not on Hulu, but okay. You know what I mean? Incels bashing the women, prefer to appreciate both. You know, they can produce valuable entertainment, but you got to get the incels up out of here. I know you want to fuck these ladies, but all these ladies are taken, and you are too weird, rude, and nasty to get the pussy. And that has absolutely nothing to do with nobody else. That's a personal problem. Okay? I think Paul Leviskay needs to do better. I think the direction he's taking the women in is of concern. And I'm just going to leave it right here again because I said that already. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments if you made it this far. Have we returned to the Divas era?